The movie begins in 1945. We see a man named Bonasera in a closed room asking another man for help. He's seeking justice for the wrong done to his daughter. The person he seeks help from is Vito Corleone, a Don. In fact, he's the Don of all Dons, and everyone respectfully calls him the Godfather. The Godfather initially refuses to help Bonasera because he went to the police first. When Bonasera offers him money, the Godfather replies, "What harm have I done to you that you don't respect me, that you don't call me Godfather? You haven't offered me your friendship." Bonasera then kisses the Godfather's hand and addresses him as Godfather, after which the Godfather agrees to help him. The day was actually the wedding of the Godfather's youngest daughter, Connie. The house is filled with powerful people. Here we see the Godfather's 4 children, especially Michael, who stays away from the family business, along with his girlfriend and the most trusted man, Luca Brasi. We also meet the Godfather's adopted son, Tom. At the event, a famous Hollywood singer, Johnny, comes to meet the Godfather. He tearfully tells him that a big Hollywood director is about to make a war movie, and if he can get the lead role, he would never have to look back in life. But the director refuses to give Johnny the role. The Godfather tells Johnny not to worry and to spend time with his family. He will handle it. The Godfather then continues to enjoy his daughter's wedding. Later, he sends his adopted son, Tom Hagen, who is a lawyer, to speak to the director and ask him to give Johnny a chance. But the director refuses. The director had a prized horse that he loved so much he wouldn't even race it. The next morning, the director wakes up to find only the horse's head in his bed, and he screams in terror. He realizes what the Godfather is capable of and agrees to give Johnny the role. Next, we see the Godfather's adopted son, Tom, and his eldest son, Sonny, talking to the Godfather about a man named Sollozzo. They inform him that Sollozzo wants to discuss business. The Godfather knows it's about drugs, and although Tom and Sonny want him to enter the drug trade, he's reluctant. We then see a meeting with Sollozzo, where the Godfather tells him he'll never engage in a business that harms ordinary people. Despite being a powerful Don, the Godfather is fundamentally a good man. After the meeting, the Godfather thinks it over and calls Luca Brasi. He instructs Luca to go to Sollozzo and find out what he might be hiding. Luca goes to Sollozzo, who offers him a job and promises a salary of $20,000 in return for his loyalty. But Luca refuses to betray the Godfather. So Sollozzo kills him on the spot and kidnaps Tom. In the next scene, we see the Godfather with his second son, Fredo, shopping for fruit when they're suddenly attacked. Fredo is unharmed, but the Godfather is gravely injured. Sollozzo tells Tom that he's killed the Godfather and that he should convince Sonny to go into business with him. After Sollozzo releases Tom, they all gather in a room to discuss the situation when someone arrives with a parcel. Inside, they find 2 dead fish, symbolizing that Sollozzo has killed Luca Brasi as well as the Godfather. But later, we see that Sollozzo has learned the Godfather survived the 5 bullets he took. He sends men to the hospital again to finish him off. Michael visits the hospital to check on his father and realizes there's no guard protecting him. So he informs his brother, Sonny. With the nurse's help, Michael moves his father to another room, and with the help of a well-wisher visiting the Godfather, he pretends to stand guard outside the hospital. Seeing them there, Sollozzo's men get scared and leave. Then a corrupt policeman approaches Michael. He was actually the one who had dismissed all of the Godfather's guards. When Michael questions the police officer's connection with Sollozzo, the officer punches him. Just then, Michael's brothers arrive with some private detectives and manage the situation. Sollozzo then expresses a desire to meet with Michael alone, without his brothers present. Meanwhile, the Godfather's eldest son, Sonny, tells Tom that they should kill Sollozzo. However, Tom disagrees, knowing that if they did so, the entire New York police force, along with other Don families, would turn against them. Michael then suggests, "I'll meet with Sollozzo, but you need to find out where he plans to meet and place a gun there." Michael goes to the meeting, and Sollozzo makes a business offer. Michael says he can consider the business deal only if Sollozzo agrees not to attack the Godfather again. Sollozzo replies that he's become a target himself because the Godfather will likely kill him once he's well. Michael goes to the restroom, retrieves the gun his brothers had placed there, and kills Sollozzo and his associate. Afterward, we see the Godfather recovering and returning home, but Michael's life is now in great danger because he killed Sollozzo. To protect him, the Godfather sends Michael to Sicily, where he falls in love with a local woman and marries her. In the next scene, we see the Godfather's daughter, whose husband, Carlo, abuses her. When Sonny visits his sister and sees this, he beats up Carlo and warns him that if he ever hits his sister again, things will go badly for him. But one day, Carlo beats his wife again, and when Sonny's sister calls him and tells him, he rushes out alone in a car to save her. However, along the way, some men stop Sonny's car and kill him. Then we see Michael's father-in-law approaching him, saying that his brother Sonny has been killed. Michael decides to leave Sicily and return to New York, intending to send his wife back to her family. As Michael watches, his wife gets into the car, and at that moment, a bodyguard begins to flee. Michael shouts, telling her not to start the car, but she does, and it explodes, killing her instantly. After Sonny's death, we see the Godfather devastated. He meets with all the Don families and says, "I don't want any enemies. I've already lost my son." The other Dons mention that even though he had political power, he didn't help them. The Godfather explains that he's always wanted to help them. He just didn't want to get into the drug business. This shows that, despite being a mafia boss, the Godfather wanted what was best for everyone. The other Dons agree to keep the drug business away from children. Then the Godfather says, "All right, but if there's any attack on my youngest son while he's away, or if the police try to arrest him, I won't spare anyone." Later, we see Michael return to New York. Michael starts managing his father's business. When he meets his ex-girlfriend, he tells her that he'll soon make all their illegal business legitimate. He then marries her. We see that the Godfather has grown old, and he's now left everything in Michael's hands. Michael then visits a hotel whose owner the Godfather once helped. Michael wants to buy the hotel, but the owner refuses. Michael is annoyed but doesn't show it. Instead, he tells the singer Johnny that he wants to make the hotel even more famous. However, Michael has other plans in mind. We see the Godfather advising Michael, saying, "The one closest to you who suggests a meeting with Barzini's family, know that he's betraying you, and they intend to kill you." The Godfather is essentially warning Michael. Later, in 1955, the Godfather dies of a heart attack while playing with his grandson. Many people come to the Godfather's funeral, including one of their capos named Tessio, who informs Michael about a meeting with the Barzini family. Michael recalls his father's warning. The day of the meeting happens to be the day of his sister's child's christening. His sister wanted Michael to be her child's godfather, and Michael accepted. On that day, Michael's men kill Tessio, along with several Dons who had turned against him, as well as the owner of that hotel. Michael then confronts his sister's husband, Carlo, and questions him about his involvement in Sonny's death. Carlo denies it. When Michael assures him he won't kill him for his sister's sake, Carlo admits that the Barzini family had paid him. After that, Michael's men kill Carlo in a car. Michael's sister confronts him about her husband's death, but Michael denies any involvement. Later, his wife also asks him if he was behind it, and Michael replies that he would never consider doing such a thing. Relieved, she goes to fetch him food, and just then, she overhears members of the Corleone family referring to Michael as Don Corleone. At that moment, she realizes that Michael himself has become the new Don. Friends, this movie truly is a masterpiece, and it has a second and third part. We'll bring those as well. Share your thoughts on today's video in the comments, and if you enjoyed it, like and share it with friends. For more exciting movie explanations, subscribe to our channel. See you next time with another great story. Until then, stay well and healthy.